So it's been a while since I did an update video on what I was doing with the SRT. Haven't been out here very much, but I have been working on the doors and the dents and the bodywork and stuff. So get you up to speed real quick. Everything on the outside metal wise, I pretty much stripped it all down to bare metal. All this outside was all down bare metal. Came out really, really nice. The metal underneath of it was really, really clean. Everything just looks really, really good. Had a small dent here that I fixed, and this I had to, when I stripped it down to bare metal, there was a couple holes in the metal itself, and that's how these cars start rusting, is from the inside out. So I cut a window out of it, took the foam out of it, because these dog legs are notorious for holding water because of that foam that's in here. So took all that out, cut a window out, got all that, and then welded this patch up, and then just a little bit of body work on top of it. Pretty simple. The other side it's all flawless. There was nothing rust wise because it all was down to bare metal. If you haven't seen my other video, go back and look at it. You can see everything was down to bare metal before I sprayed it. Fenders, everything, bare metal stripped. So that is that. And then once I cleaned it, taped it up, I put 3 coats of the KD 3001, the black, which is their primer system with House of Color. It's a 4-to-1 if you want a really thick, heavy primer build. This stuff has a epoxy built into it, so it's really good for DTM, direct to metal, and it's really, really thick. I spray it with a 2.0 tip. 3 coats is enough if you don't have any body work or anything like that that you're doing, or any heavy modifications that you're doing to the metal. It covers really, really nice. It blocks like butter, so when you go to block this, it won't take any time to flatten it out, get it ready for paint. So I welded up the doors. If you haven't seen, they're all welded up, no door handles anymore. After I epoxied or primered it, I blocked it down, fiberglassed it, and then after I blocked the fiberglass down, I went ahead and put the filler over it. It is now ready for the next step, which is going to be a really, really thin coat of glaze, metal glaze. That is only for any type of pinhole that you might find in the filler itself. It's not to shape anything. It's already shaped out. It's already ready to go. So it's just to fill these little holes in the body filler that might not have flattened out all. So that is the next step. It will get a really thin coat of that. And then I will go ahead and block it again with 220, getting all that flat. And then I'll block the rest of the door in 220 just to see if I have any other dents, because this door had a dent down here for some reason I didn't see. So I went ahead and fixed that. But yeah, thin coat of glaze, block it, block the door down to 220, and then it's ready for the next coat of primer. So it's got a lot of coats of primer on it to cover all the bare metal, and that's essentially what you want to do. Since this has an epoxy built into it, it's really good for that purpose. And it's awesome stuff for a ground coat. If you're building a car or doing something up from bare metal, it's a really good thing to put something down that has epoxy or straight epoxy in it, because that is the best rust preventative. If you have a car that's been in metal for a while and you're wanting to paint it or get it protected, you can sit it out in the sun. It won't do anything to it. It makes everything last very, very long, and it's just the best way for something that's bare metal to go about covering it for a top coat. So I will eventually, when I get the doors all primered for last time, I will block the rest of the car down, see if I can find any other dents. Pretty sure there is none. Everything's really well straight. Obviously it was bare metal and I can't see any dents, so not saying there might not one pop up on the roof or something like that, but I'm not really too worried about it. So I'll block it down last, and it should not get another coat or another session of primer. It should just be ready for paint after I primer all this stuff up on the doors. Same way with the fenders. The fenders are straight as an arrow. The only thing I might do to the fenders once I get the doors and primer is to weld up the antenna. I'm not really a fan of these because they stick up. I've got a shorty antenna on mine, so it doesn't look as bad, but it's kind of an eyesore on these cars with the antenna popping up right in front of the windshield. This car has a flip out DVD player, so my phone is always hooked up to it, been an aftermarket radio, so I'm not really worried about the radio itself being able to be used. So I'm just going to take that out from the radio and then possibly just weld this up smooth. It's a little subtle things like that you start eliminating. Most people won't even recognize that's even gone, but it's those little subtle details that'll make a car stand out. Obviously, door handles, a lot of people don't even see the door handles when they look at cars. They just see the door itself. So like a lot of people probably won't recognize it's shaved until you point it out, because I am doing graphics on this car is the plan. That's why I wanted to shave the door handles, is put graphics on the car. That way I have a flat canvas. So it will get paint, clear, sanded block down, graphics added, more clear coat, sanded back down, more clear coat until it's perfectly flat, perfectly straight panel and ready for buff. And then it'll be ready to go back together. But that's a little ways down the road because we got to get this done first. So that's what I've been doing, is working on all this jazz with the doors. It took a while. If anybody knows about sanding fiberglass, it's tough to sand. It's really, really hard if you're just blocking it. A lot of guys will just either take a DA over it with some 80 grit or grind it down with 36. Just to get it out of the way, but I went ahead and I fully blocked everything down by hand to make it as flat as possible, because I did not want a ton of filler. It might look like a big area of filler, but it is very, very thin. There's not much filler on this at all. You can see on some of these doors where I burnt through it, blocking it. That just means that my fiberglass was that straight that when the door itself was the filler underneath, on top of it, got straight enough to where it popped through the fiberglass. So that's a good sign that you're not putting a lot of filler on stuff. Because my rule of thumb is, if you're going to do filler just by itself, a 1/16 of an inch is like the most you want to ever do on something. That's just my personal preference. It used to be a rule of thumb in the industry, but now with all these YouTubers and everything, they just do whatever they want, so people will argue it. But if you want it to last a very, very long time without cracking out, you should not be using a ton of filler or a ton of fiberglass or anything like that. You want it as thin as possible, and it just makes for a better job in the end. So that's what I've been doing, and hopefully in the next couple days I'll have this stuff in primer, block down, final primer, and then I can start blocking the rest of the car. So that's what I've been doing.